Okay, folks, so when you're in a large meeting or a meeting with multiple departments or teams, there are situations where you're probably going to want to leverage a breakout room. In the virtual space, it can be complex, but luckily Teams makes an easy to use feature for us to make virtual breakout rooms. So let me show you how to use it. To make a breakout room, click on the meeting that you want to make the breakout room in. In this case, it's purchase decisions. I'm going to double click on it. And then at the top of the screen, you'll see an option where it says breakout rooms. Go ahead and click on that. Once that opens up, you can see at the middle of the screen, you'll see where it says create rooms. Go ahead and click on that. And from here, you can create as many rooms as you want. So in this case, this is a fairly small meeting, so I'm just going to create 2, but you can create a lot. So depending on your license, you can potentially have, 1,000 or so folks in a Teams meeting, so you might want to create a lot depending on how big your room is. In this case, I'm only going to do 2, and I'll click on Add Rooms. So now you can see that I have 2 rooms on the screen, and from there I can change them however I want. If I click on the 3 little dots, the breadcrumb trail, I can rename it. So let's say we had a sales meeting, right? And we wanted the inside sales team to have their own breakout room, and we wanted the outside sales team to have a breakout room. I could do that. Now I can also change to manually assign people to the breakout room. So if I click on Assign Participants at the top here, I can either have it automatically assign breakout rooms, which is useful, let's say, if we just want to maybe have like a networking session, right? Or if you use manual, which is what I'm going to do, you can check that and then hit next. And from here, I can go ahead and assign folks to the different teams. So let's go ahead and assign Wilbur to inside sales. You can see as I hover, you do have checkboxes as well. So if you have a large group and you want to make them all in the same room, you can go ahead and do that as well by checking it and then selecting a room, and then, from the drop down to make it all in inside sales, for example. So if you have a large group, you can also find participants by using the search too. In this case, you can see all the folks that I have in this meeting all on one screen. I'm going to hit assign, and now folks are assigned to those breakout rooms. So now that the meeting started, so if I click on rooms at the top here, it'll open up the breakout room section on the right, and you can see the different rooms that I have here. And at the point in the meeting that I want folks to start using those breakout rooms, I'm going to go ahead and hit open, and it'll automatically start moving people to their assigned meeting rooms. So, which are basically, think of them as a meeting within a meeting, and folks can go ahead and chat and talk and discuss in these meeting rooms without necessarily having to interact with other folks. Now that you're on this page, you can do all sorts of things, which is really cool. So since I am the meeting organizer, I can go ahead and add a room if I want. Let's say I wanted to add maybe a room just for the managers. I can go ahead and do that. I can also send an announcement. So if I click on that, I can say, hey, 5 more minutes, and send that, and it'll send an announcement to each of the breakout rooms, and folks will know that they need to come back in 5 minutes. Now, let's say we want to force folks to come back to the room, right? Sometimes it's not the best because you don't want to cut them off mid-discussion, but if you go ahead and hit close, it'll close the breakout rooms and bring everybody back to the main meeting.